So, for our 25th wedding anniversary, we went to the Great Smoky Mountains and we were going to hike all week. And our first hike out was the longest one we would do, and it was the Alum Cave Trail up to the top of Mount LeConte. It was a trail I've had on my bucket list for a long time. If you Google it, it's the most popular trail that's supposedly the most bang for your buck in the Great Smoky Mountains. So we decided we would start off with that one to begin with. We were a little nervous, but that did not stop us. So we did several hikes for the rest of the trip, but this one was the first one. Where are we? Alum Cave Trail. Where are we hiking?
I forgot.
Mount LeConte. Top of it. A lot of people here. What time is it? About 8:30?
Yeah, no, I don't have my phone.
Mom left her phone.
They practiced it the whole way.
Yeah.
That's a pretty picture with the sun coming through there. Let me get out and take that limb off so you can have a better shot.
Pretty crappy. So the weather, when we were coming in the night before, it was a torrential downpour, and the weather forecast for the week was pretty rainy. So we didn't know how that was going to impact our trip, but it made for this view this morning was absolutely spectacular. When, there was kind of mist, fog, and we're hiking into the sun. And we knew we were in for a fun hike when this was our view this early in the hike. So you definitely do not have the trail to yourself. It's a heavily trafficked trail. It's a very hard trail, but it's also tons of people hike it. These guys that were in front of us, they were polite and very nice, but they were trucking. Yeah. And Emily and I are kind of old, so they trucked on past us. But Tortoise and the Hare we saw many times throughout the day. And as we were walking right there, Emily just said it's like we were walking on a movie set. And that's really the trail. I mean, you can see there's steps. The Great Smoky Mountains trails are immaculately maintained. And it's like a movie set. I mean, everywhere you look, there's a beautiful view. The trails are perfect, they make hiking the trails very easy. It's a pretty incredible part.
Oh, you guys can see it all the way up through there.
We're going up there.
That is too pretty.
And yes, that is as steep as it looks. I mean, it is. There's little cables on the side there. you're just walking literally through the middle of this arch rock, which was pretty amazing looking. But you can see how far. Emily's just a few steps behind me, but she's almost a full body length below me. It's crazy. What do you think?
So pretty. That was insane.
More to go. We're getting on up there now.
That breeze smells nice.
It's like 70 degrees, 75. It beats the 95 that we would normally be hiking in. So once you pass Inspiration Point, you've got less dense forest, more open space, and the next stop is Alum Cave. Oh boy. Alum Cave is about the halfway point, and there are lots and lots of steps, and they are steep steps that lead right up to it. It is a haul to get this last little bit till you get to Alum Cave. Oh good, we get to go more.
It's like someone painted it up.
I mean, I'm basically risking my life for this footage.
That was not a 3-point hold. This is where they need the cable. Oh, that feels so good.
Pretty view. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, mama.
That looks pretty strenuous.
I always like the part with the cables to let you know that imminent death awaits. This time lapse is the last kind of bit of the trail all the way up to the summit. And while I'm watching that, we will talk about kind of this trail in general. I'd always heard about hiking to the top of Mount LeConte. It's the highest point in the Great Smoky Mountains, and I've always been intimidated by it because I've read stuff about it, that there's you can camp at the top at the LeConte Lodge, that donkeys will carry up your gear, that there's these cables that you have to hold on to. I've seen pictures where there's some point where you have to hike along the side of a sheer rock, and I've always thought, well, that's crazy. I don't want to do that. So we were a little intimidated because I don't do a ton of research on things before I do them. I just say we're going to take a hike, and you saw Emily at the beginning. She didn't even know the name of the hike we were going on. I just say we're going to do things, and we go do it. But it was not intimidating. It is a you do a lot of elevation gain, and you do it quick. It's a long hike. This is the longest hike we've ever been on. So we use all trails, and if you just go into All Trails and you say Great Smoky Mountains, you will see the number one trail is this trail, the Alum Cave Trail to Mount LeConte, and it's got it at about 11 miles with 3,000 feet of elevation gain. So whenever I do hikes, I always track all my activities in Strava, and when this hike was over, Strava had the entire hike at 14 miles, and the elevation matched what it was 3,000 of elevation. And like I said, it was the longest Strava event I've ever had. So I think it was a long hike, and it's listed as hard in All Trails. So it is definitely, you don't just go do it. I felt it the next day, that's for sure. Now, at this point in the time lapse, we were kind of excited to get to the top. We had just passed the LeConte Lodge right there, and this little trail looked like it said cliff top. And I did not realize that there were actually two summits. There's a cliff top summit and a Mount LeConte summit. There's like 25 feet of elevation gain difference between them. But we just saw the word cliff top, and we thought that meant just here's the cliff top. So we struck out, went up this it's about 0.2 miles, and this got us to the very top of the mountain, and I don't think we would have been any more impressed by walking a little further down the trail and getting to the actual Mount LeConte. So I guess technically we have not hiked to the top of Mount LeConte yet. It's kind of a bummer when that was the whole point of the trip. We did it. Let's see how far.
I think Strava's wrong. Oh, look at the moisture beating up the hill.
6.9.
Stupid.
2 hours, 54 minutes.
Is that gone?
We summited that bad boy, didn't we? That's called summiting, I think. We're mountaineers, pretty much.
What's that way?
Oh my God, we're lost.
No, we go this way, but what's
Oh my God, we're lost. We're already lost. We're gonna die on these mountains. You'll stay in a cabin. It'd be fun to stay up here, wouldn't it?
It would be fun. Here.
Lunch. And Emily's got to fix her socks. And I have a rock in my shoe. You always see things on the way down that you didn't really notice on the way up, so here's some of those things.
Looks so pretty.
All right, so Emma and I, we're at our 25th year anniversary, and we're on this hike with no kids, but we just passed a couple, and they had,
They were
I swear,
carrying a 3-year-old on their back.
they were not 3 years old, they were 12 years old.
They were not 12.
Those kids were
I
12.
don't remember this.
They were hiking up with a backpack with 12-year-old children on the back of them.
They were not 12.
I do not want to hike that bad. I can barely carry my fat butt up this hill now. Huh?
It's weird.